Yeah, I know. I didn't get these videos done before the Oscars happened. But you know what? The Oscars was dumb anyways. However, Green Book did win Best Picture, so let's see. Did it deserve it? Are you an everyday nerd? Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next episode. Yo, welcome to your Everyday Nerd, the B-Sides edition. I'm your host, Zack Snyder. On the B-Sides, we have the same format as your Everyday Nerd. They're just shorter, unsponsored episodes. Green Book just won Best Picture of the Oscars this year, but did it actually deserve it?
Some guy called over here, a doctor. He's looking for a driver. You interested?
I am not a medical doctor. I'm a musician. I'm about to embark on a concert tour in the Deep South. What other experience do you have?
Public relations.
Directed by Peter Farrelly, Green Book is based on a true story. Set in 1962, the film explores the relationship of African-American pianist Don Shirley and Italian-American bouncer Tony Vallelonga, who becomes Shirley's driver and bodyguard when the two set out on a piano tour through the Deep South. The name of the movie is based off of the Green Book, a guidebook that was green for African-American travelers in the 1900s that were trying to find their way through different restaurants and hotels and such that would basically accept them, because if you didn't know, the 1900s had a bunch of terrible people in it. Who would have known? And that's where the core of this film is. While there are plenty of scenes that are musically related, we got piano scenes, we got the piano tour, the main theme of the movie is that racism is bad and racism occurred in America's history. It's very right on the nose. You're not really going to get any subtext in this movie. It's just kind of, that's what it is. But on the plus side, it is this friendship between these two that end up being my favorite part of the film. Tony is an Italian-American who's used to getting money in ways that are oftentimes not legal. He's not inherently racist, but he has these systematic racist tendencies like a lot of people in the 1960s, unfortunately. His wife is the exact same, if not worse. And so when they find out that he's going to be working for a black man, they just kind of like, oh, no, don't do it. It's a little ridiculous. But anyways, Don Shirley is the African-American who's worked his way up through his talents and became a very successful piano player. He played classical music to get him into rich white people establishments. But we see multiple times throughout the film that his talents don't particularly matter to racists because they're terrible people, and he's still subject to racism time and time again. And so what we end up with are these interactions between the two leads that are genuine, oftentimes comedic, and at times even heartwarming. Their chemistry is the reason why you would watch this movie. Again, this is like my only issue with the film, and it's a little unfortunate, but when you go and start watching Green Book, it's not super deep. You know exactly what you're getting. Every scene is essentially the exact same thing. Tony and Don are discussing something. One of them talks about the differences they have. Then they deal with somebody that's racist. And then to the next scene where Tony and Don are discussing something and one of them talks about the differences they have and someone ends up being racist. And then it's on to the next scene. It doesn't change up the formula much, which makes Green Book very repetitive in nature. There's also a lot of technical things in this movie that I wouldn't argue are exactly impressive. It's definitely shot well. The editing is good. Everything is very competent. There wasn't anything that just kind of jumped out at me. This is basically the Oscar bait film of the year, which is kind of funny because it did win Best Picture. But none of that really bothered me as much because Green Book was still an enjoyable and entertaining film. At the end of the day, I only looked at the timestamp like once throughout this film, and it was when there was 30 minutes left, and I was kind of like upset there was only 30 minutes left. Again, this chemistry between these two actors is what really makes this film. So do I think that Green Book deserved Best Picture? Not necessarily, because there are a couple of films that are definitely way better, especially technically speaking, but I'm not necessarily super mad about it either because I still did enjoy the film. But anyways, that's all the time we have for today. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit that like button. If for whatever reason you didn't like it, you can hit that dislike button. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts on Green Book winning the Best Pictures are. I'm still going to be doing a video on the favorite, and then we're going to be doing our ranking of all of these films. I know it's late. That kind of sucks. But on the plus side, like, I'm going to be doing a Best Picture ranking of the 1928 Oscar films next month, and that'll be approximately 100 years later. So That'll be great. Go ahead and subscribe for more Everyday Nerd, and I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.